They have broken it down into 3 different things. Okay, so the first section, 1 to 6, they're saying graph each equation using a table. What that means is that you have to create a table. So this should be the first thing that you've ever done when graphing. So if I say like an XY chart or a T chart, does that mean anything to anybody? Okay, so normally these would look something like this. Right, we've done this before. So then, like, how do you do it then?
Put all the x values in the x side, and all the y values in the other side.
Well, how do you get these things though?
You have a graph or an equation.
Well, I got an equation, so how do I do it?
Graph the equation.
All right. All right, so I do things like follow directions. So the directions say, graph each equation by using a table.
Oh.
Okay? When we get to the third section, it says, graph using slope and y-intercept. So again, you guys say you know how to do it, so what do?
You solve the equation first.
All right, it's already solved for y.
Plus 1.
What? Say it again.
You got your math.
I'm thinking add 1.
All right, again, your job is to graph these lines. I'm giving you 3 ways to do it. So the first way is saying use the table. I'm just reading. Okay? So then how do we do it with a table? And if you don't know, then don't tell me that you know. Tell me you don't know. Don't know. Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
Wouldn't the y-intercept be negative 1?
All right. Possibly.
You're on to something.
But again, I am doing what the directions are asking. Okay? If you don't want to do what the directions are asking, that's your business. Make sure you get a correct line when you're done. I'm going to go through this the way they're asking us to go through it because it might show up as a quiz in this way. All right? So if we don't know what we're doing, then what you did before, and you've seen these before, probably in 8th, 7th, or 8th grade, they usually ask you to come up with 3 to 5 values of x. Usually they said, make sure you pick 0. And the reason of that is because that's the y-intercept. And then often 1 negative or 2 negatives, and then 1 positive or 2 not positives. All right? You only need 2 points. But for this one, we will do 3. So 0 is going to be one of them. What else would you like to use? And there's no wrong answer. I just need a negative and a positive.
Negative
-4.
1.
What else? +1. All right. So this is an XY chart. It's like a function. We just came up with inputs. In functions and any kind of graph, the inputs are not interesting. They're always the same things. It's what the rule does with the input that makes it interesting. So then what do?
Then we put it in for x.
Then we put it in for x. Okay, so then this one is nice because it is already solved for y. Super nice. All right, so then we're going through each one. We're saying, okay, y equals, right, 4 times -4 minus 1. So then what is that? -17. So then we came up with a coordinate. All right, that coordinate is -4, -17. Now, I wouldn't have picked -4, but it works. It's fine.
Can you just pick like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
I want a 0 and a negative and a positive. And I don't care how many you pick.
-1,
Yeah.
0, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so he picked -4. So -4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, somewhere way down here. Is that right? And now all you're doing, you're just plugging it in now, right? So, okay, so then 0. So this one is 4 times 0 minus 1. And so that's -1. So then we got here. And again, so then it's 4 times 1.
3.
So then 3. Do we have a line? All right, so then we did good. So this is one of your options. Your job is to get the correct graph. I'm showing you 3 options. Ideally, you do what these guys are saying. Ideally, we do it in the third option. Okay? But you can always do it this way, you get the information. This is the longest. This is gonna take you the longest to do. All right? Should we do another one of these? So then let's do either 3 or 4. Which one would you like to do?
4.
All right.
Wait, how many?
What's that?
Mr. Everson,
Yeah.
you want us to do the graph and then graph it on a graph too, or a table and the graph for each?
I want both. I want you to do it the way they're asking you, but yes, I do want it graphed. Your homework is your thing, as in you need to learn from it. So if you need to do it on graph paper to make it look nice, then that's what you should do. If you can just do it this way, then that's also fine. Just know that eventually you're gonna have to make sure you do it correctly. All right, so you should always pick 0, 1 because it's easy, 2 because it gives you the y-intercept. So give me 1 negative and 1 positive.
-7.
-1.
Yeah, can we just do -1? You can do -7 all day. It's still on there, but I don't have enough room. How about that?
Just trying to make it too hard.
-7,000.
All right, so what's the difference? It would still work, right? But I don't know if I can graph it. Right? We can still get there.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah, you do that one later.
Do that on your own.
What's the difference between this one and the one we just did?
The X and the Y's on the center.
Yeah, you haven't solved for y yet. So again, this is a you thing. This isn't a me thing. We don't have to do it all the same. It is a you thing. Do you want to solve for y 3 times or do you want to solve for y 1 time? 1 time. That's what I would do. But you got to be able to solve for it correctly. And when you say solve for it, you're saying get it by itself, positive. So this one isn't too bad. How can we get y by itself here?
Subtract the X.
Yeah, we can subtract the x to the other side. And so then really what we're saying is that y equals 1 minus x. Again, if you remember how to do y equals mx plus b, super awesome. Make sure you can do the chart too. Okay? So if we plug in -1 up here, what do we get? Someone said it. What is it?
1 times -1.
2, right? 1 minus a -1. Right?
Yeah.
Right, minus a -1. Yeah. So it's 2, right? All right, what about 0? When you plug in 0, what do you get? 1. When you plug in 1, what do you get?
2, -2, wait. Minus.
0, 0, 0. Right? So right then then you're just plotting them. Oops, but you got to plot them right. Right, so -1, 2, so somewhere up here. 0, 1, and 1. Oops, God, I did it again. Hold on. 0, 1, and 1, 0. Do you have a line?
Yeah.
All right, then you're doing it right. Does your line look like that?
Yep.
You're doing it right. Is that okay? All right. Is that we go to the next section?
Yeah.
All right, so then what does it say on the next section? As is an everybody thing, what do the directions say?
Graph each equation by using the x and y intercept.
All right, so let's just do number 7. What is an intercept? If we're supposed to graph it by doing an intercept, what is an intercept?
The line across the axis.
Where it crosses the axis. Okay, so then pick one of them first. What do you want to do? We're still going to use an XY chart here.
Oh, just any of them?
Well, no, like, do you want to do X or Y axis first?
Y.
All right, so he picked Y. So what do you know about the value or the coordinates of anything on the Y-axis? They all have something in common. What's 0? X is 0 everywhere up and down here, right? So if you're asked to do the Y-intercept, you're plugging in 0 for X. All right, then flip that around, right? What's common about everything on the X-axis? Y is 0, and so you're doing this. Okay, they're asking for the intercepts. This is how you get the intercepts. All right, so then we're just plugging this in. So let's do the first one. We'll plug it in, 0 for x. What happens? What's y when x is 0? 2, right? Because it's really just 3y equals 6. Yeah, so then y is 2. Is that okay? This one, maybe solving for y wouldn't be as easy, right? Like you might have to do more work if you do that. All right, so then we're going to plug in 0 for y, and what do we get for x?
0. Or no, 6.
Close.
Negative.
Negative 6, right? Because if you plug in 0, you get negative x equals 6, right? But we don't want negative x, we want positive x. Is that okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it should be over here. And then up here. Is that okay? Would you like to do another one of those? Right? This one's shorter, right? All you're doing is plugging in zeros in 2 different places and getting the other value. Is that good? We happy? Pretty happy? Good. Actually, your emotional well-being is, I don't really care. I mean, but good, I'm glad for you. Yeah. All right, so then you guys keep wanting to go to this, which is understandable. What is this thing called? Oops, that's not even it. Hold on.
Y equals mx plus b.
Yeah, what's that called?
Slope intercept.
Yeah, this is slope-intercept form, right? Why do they call it slope-intercept form?
Because it has the slope and the intercept.
Because it has the slope and the intercept. Which one's which?
The m is the slope, the b is the intercept.
Okay, and then that is the y-intercept.
Yeah.
Is that okay? This is easily the most efficient way, but you do have to solve for y correctly, because if you don't solve for y correctly, you're not going to get the right line, right? So I think we should do, I've been doing 18 all day. Should we do 18?
I want to mix it up a little bit.
You want to mix it up?
Yeah. 16. Make sure you're not bored.
I'm glad you're concerned about me.
We're always concerned about you.
Caden, I wouldn't have taken you as someone that was worried about me.
I'm very worried about you.
Oh, thank you.
Caden's very emotional. I'm a very emotional person.
There's nothing wrong with that. That's all right.
No.
Oh.
He really likes me. No, actually.
All right. Slope-intercept form does not work unless you solve for y. Do not ever try to tell me what things are if y isn't by itself. So how can we get y by itself here?
Plus 2x.
Add 2 over, right? So then we got y equals negative 1 plus 2x. So what's the slope? 2. So like when you count up and over, right? This is rise over run. So like what are you going over? Yeah, right, because it's really 2 over 1, right? So then what's the y-intercept? Yeah, so I'm going to write it as a coordinate. I don't know why they haven't been getting you to do it that way. That doesn't make any sense to me. But now you got your starting point and where to count, right? So again, this should be the most efficient way. But again, only if you do it right. Because your job is to get it right. Okay, so then, right, we have a coordinate 0, negative 1. It's hard to graph on the thing. Up 1 to the, up 2 to the right 1. Down 2 to the left 1, either way. Is that right? Yeah, so the other coordinates, right, so there's your starting, right, that's your starting. Right, the y-intercept's always your starting point. And then we're using the slope to get any other point. So right from here, we go up 2 over 1, right? Or you could go down 2 over 1. As long as you get a positive slope out of it. So is there any questions? No. Not from him, anyway. All right. Get used to this because we're going to be spending some time doing this kind of stuff, okay? So we got inequalities coming up. We got IXLs on this stuff coming up, Alright, so all you gotta do today is 1 to 18. 1 to 18. Alright, when I come around tomorrow, you're gonna ask, make sure we'll be able to check these. In fact, I'll put them up as we go, okay? So you can check, make sure you're doing them right. Okay? There's graph paper until there is none.